Hi, hello, good morning. Yeah, welcome to the week 10 open session. Actually, this particular session is on mostly on the testing of different modules. Of course, finally, we try to use that testing of a particular Flask app, or maybe it could be a simple app. So, similar kind of lines, you can test your project, whichever going to implement. But basically, we start with how this PyTest or testing framework works, right? So maybe you have that a handful examples in this coming 2 hour session. Hope I can start, right? Any other things, concerns? Can I start now?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Great. So good. Yeah. So let me share my entire screen. Yes. So this my screen is visible. Actually, I'll start with a particular introduction part of it before directly going for implementing of the PyTest or testing modules, right? Yeah. Actually, there are different kind of testing frameworks out there. If you look at that, there is a Selenium framework is there, which most of them use it, and there is unit testing is there. That could be predefined in module in Python. You can Google it. So unit testing or PyUnit or something. There is another interesting library or framework is called PyTest. So we prefer this. Why do you prefer this? Is so there are some kind of advantages. That's the reason why the PyTest is preferred. Basically, why PyTest? That's we'll understand why the we prefer this PyTest test. So it's a Python framework. That's what basically we are using, because everybody is familiar with Python as a core language since from your foundation to here. So that's the we prefer this is one. And the next one is the interesting thing is it is auto discovery of the modules, right? Auto discovery. So it automatically discovers, auto discovery of testing modules. Whatever you want to test it, that can be automatically searched and tested by the PyTest framework. Of course, some naming conventions are there. If you follow that naming conventions, it will easily pick out that module and it will test it for you. That is what the thing. And the next one is that it will support that, it will support uh, parameterized parameterized testing. Of course, there is one concept called fixers, and we use that particular fixers. So using it, we can usually test a module, a particular parameter by sending a particular module. So the parameters we send it. So based on the parameters, the testing module will do that. That can be done. And the last one is it's a simple syntax. We don't need to learn other new syntaxes. Whatever the syntaxes in Python, the same things we use it, but using some kind of existing framework. That's it. I think you understood why the PyTest we are using. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And now, basically, if you want to work with that PyTest, you must know about that a predefined or a statement called assertions. This is called predefined statement, or what exactly you can say that assertion function.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Uh, Sir, this Py test is like similar to JUnit, right?
Correct, correct, correct,
In
correct,
Java we did
correct,
assertion thing, like in the Java course we did that.
correct, 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 correct. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So see, look at it. It's a assertion is a predefined function. What exactly assertion will do is it's very simple. A central syntax of assertion, if you see that, we use that there is assert statement or command followed by a condition. This condition can be a Boolean condition. It checks a particular condition, it returns true or false. So when the particular assertion is true, or it might be a false, maybe that condition may be false or true. And additionally, if you want to put it that assertion with error message also, you can put it. This is optional, because if you would like to print some error message, whenever this assertion will fail, if fails, then only this particular message is right. If you want it, but actually we don't use that error message which you want to print it. So this assertion is very much required for PyTest testing units what you're writing. So let's see that the basic fundamental example on assertion, how the assertion it works. So let me open my terminal. Yes. So my Python folder, maybe I'll locally create some a PyTest folder, which could be today all examples. We try to do it here. So what I do is mkdir, so PyTest examples. So entire day we try to set all these PyTest modules here. So this is the thing. Let me open my code example. The first example, how the assertion it works. So we try to do one particular assertion, whether it is properly working or not. Sometimes it will fail, sometimes it will successfully be executed. Yeah, I think my VS Code is loading. Yeah, it's okay. Why it's taking this much time? Yes, got it. Okay. Yeah. So this is my PyTest examples. All I want to put it one place. So let me open my first example. Let me open my example is that ex1.py. So in this, I want to test it only that assertion. Let me open some particular example. I'm thinking, a equal to 5, b equal to intentionally, I'm giving some 0 here. So whenever 0 I'm using, I want to do a divide operation, it might be failed, right? So what I'm doing is print. I'm trying to do one particular division operation, a by b is. So I want to print the result of this particular division operation. Here I use assertion. So assert maybe my particular b if it is not equal to 0. So this, if it is equal to 0, this particular condition, what it will do, it will throw one particular issue, this particular one. The b condition, because it throws simply b, if it is 0, definitely it returns that a false value. So whenever false value is returned, you cannot proceed that the next operation print a by b. So because definitely this is a runtime error is thrown, right? Because division operation is not possible. So we are just testing this one, whether my b is not equal to 0. If b is not equal to 0, then we perform it. So let me go my terminal, because I want to test it my terminal. The Python ex1. Yes, maybe some particular virtual environment is okay. It's closed, right? Yeah. So now Python ex1.py. So you can see that here, this particular condition, there is this condition is this condition is definitely false, because you have given that. So that could be the reason. Definitely it is throwing a runtime error, that's called assertion error. For example, this might be some other than 0, maybe some positive value. So let me run this one. Now everything works fine. This is simple assertion. Why I'm telling about the simple assertion is assertion can do testing of one a Boolean condition. Maybe you want to check that whether my particular condition is true or not. Yeah, I think this is okay, because fundamentally this is good enough for assertion, right? Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Sir, I had one doubt. Like today's this session is a doubt session. What? Because we covered this thing in AQPQ and TA session too. Like,
if you have any doubts, then
like this session will be we will cover the theory again or for PyTest and examples.
No, actually, this is the thing. They said it is a context setting of today.
Okay.
They have given a schedule like this so that I'm handling. If you have any clarification, please let me know.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay, maybe if that's okay. But other than any specific issue, also you can raise maybe.
Okay, sir. Fine.
Okay, yeah. So can I proceed then?
Sir, yes.
So fine. Now this first example, simply we have tested that whether my particular assertion is properly working out. Now let's try that. This particular testings, we want to create that and we want to test them using some kind of a standard way, some kind of standard way. What you can do that, the particular testing code which I want to separate from the application. When you build it, you try to implement that functional requirements, what it has to perform. And testing, what you do is the verification and validation, we can say that. So let us do that. The verification and validation means each particular module, what they have implemented, we try to figure out whether that each particular module is properly executing or not for different varied inputs. You might give it, test this one with negative value, test with this one with positive value, test this one with some particular 0. So you have a different cases. So like, if you are testing one ATM pin number entry, we try to enter whether this keyboard is allowing to enter alphabets or not. Definitely it doesn't allow. Similar way, you're trying to enter that the pin number, maybe a special character. Definitely it doesn't allow, because it itself, it is telling it's a pin number. So that kind of verification they try to. For example, if that keyboard allows that pin number is alphabets, if a particular user or illiterate who entered that alphabets, what happens? So such things, all kind of inputs combination, we want to pull it, or you can say that push it that to that testing module, and we try to test it. For that, we need a PyTest framework. So we try to install the PyTest. So it's a simple command, PyTest. It's install. Maybe the latest version you want to do that. Maybe -u or something like that. Updated version, I can do that with PyTest. Pip install of that. That could be installed. I think it was there already. So far it was there. Now the thing is, whenever you want to write a PyTest module, you are trying to write a testing module, a test case scenario, there should be some kind of standards you need to follow. So let's have some naming conventions. What I can say that the naming conventions for PyTest modules. So some kind of naming conventions are required. So what naming conventions we use is definitely some kind of rules are there. We strictly follow that. We have different file names. Maybe we try to specify the file name. That should be what I can say is a module or file which you want to test it. That should be start or end with test keyword followed by underscore. Either this way is valid or underscore test. This is perfect. Make sure it is underscore, not hyphen. So whatever module py file you are defining, that should looks like this one. And the second one is, if you are trying to test inside a module a function, the function have some kind of standard rule. It must be started with, they don't consider ending, start with test underscore, not ending underscore. This is the second kind of criteria when you are trying to do the testing. And the last one is there, if you are writing a group of test cases, using a class, because class is collection of functions or methods. So there it should start with, only start with. Maybe you can consider as a T is a capital, because always class name we are doing it is capital letter, followed by any other characters. We don't have underscore. These are the common rules. Mostly I remember these rules only we follow for writing the test modules which should be tested using PyTest framework. Is it clear? Because once I start that examples, maybe I use the same kind of naming convention so that the PyTest framework can recognize. Is it clear? Hello? Yeah, am I in the call?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Yeah, I think it's clear, right? So the rules which you have to use it for naming the testing modules. Start and end with the module test underscore. Make sure suffixed underscore or prefixed underscore. And function name should start with the test, which is a small letter. And a class name should start with test, but need not that underscore. Yeah. So these rules strictly we follow. Let's go for one example. Maybe, another example. Let me go back with another example. The same rules we are following. So let me have that a testing module. Example number 2. Let's have example 1 because it's a module which you are trying to test first time. Yes. So now we write that this particular testing thing which you want to test it. So what I do here is I'm trying to write one user defined function that might be what I can say that increment. So we are trying to increase the value of some particular n value or taking as a parameter. Return n plus 1. We try to increment one step, like 5 will become 4, 6 will become 7, like that. So now test module I'm writing, so test function. So let's name that test case increment. See here, please look at here, there is a rule that function name should start with test underscore it, or it might be, yeah, that's okay, because we cannot suffix function name should it, but the file name can be ex1 underscore test, you can give it prefix or suffix, but function name should be start with the test only. In this, what I'm asserting or what I'm testing is assert. What I do here is add, sorry, what I'm testing, yeah, increment function. Does the increment of 4, is it results 5? That's testing. This is called testing. Clear? It returns true or false. That true and false can be obtained by the PyTest. Now I'm trying to execute this module. I want to execute. There are two different ways, like I'm trying to execute or test PyTest. Just enter. If you press enter, which modules are prefixed or suffixed with test keyword, the file names, those are going to be executed or tested. Yeah. There is one module only there that is collected test ex, and that is passed because the dot indicates that it is passed. If it is green color, it is passed. For example, what I do here is I'm giving it as this. Intentionally, the test case is failed. So let me run this one. So it is failed. If it is failed, you get the reason why it is failed. You collected that assertion of this particular 4, it will become 5. But 5, is it equal to 4? No, not at all. Whenever not at all, this assertion is failed. So this is how it is collecting. Just PyTest itself, if you press dot and enter, whatever that test modules are there, which are prefixed with test keyword or suffixed with test keyword, those are automatically collected. Inside of the particular file, you have any testing module, that is also testing. So this is a simple kind of scenario how really the PyTest works. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
For example, instead of that collecting all testing modules, I want to test only test example 1.py. You can run it that way because it's a more conventional, specific way you can run it. That's also okay. No problem. maybe your specific 5 or 6 modules are there. I want to test it only the test example one. This is pretty easy how really the PyTest works. I think is it clear? I think it's clear because nothing great here. Now the thing is, does my assertion function, so whatever increment function it is there, it might result true or false, or it might result sometimes exceptions also. Just now we have seen some divide error. So divide by 0, it doesn't work. Such kind of exceptions also the PyTest can handle. Not only this true or false, like this is a true or false in the line number 5. But I want to do that testing of a exception also, whether the particular function is throwing exception or not. Yes, I can do that. So let me have another example, maybe test example 2. Yeah, this example is this PyTest can assert exceptions. What you can say that handling of or detecting the exceptions also, it can do that. So let's have that kind of example. For this, we need a predefined module to be imported, that is PyTest library, which was already installed. So let's have a function there, some function name, maybe it could be a func. Let's my function name is func. So what it is doing is, it is intentionally throwing some exception, rise. So what it is rising, maybe I can say system.exit. Yes, of course, system exit. So what is the exit status you want to return? I want to status that return status is 1. So yeah. So but now this is explicitly we are trying to throw an exception. Does it asserted or does it detected by the testing function? Yes, I can. Def test, maybe the function which you are testing, the function name only I am suffixing. So what I do here, I'm trying to check it whether my particular function is throwing exception or not. How can I do that is with, because it's not simple assert, right? So PyTest dot arises system dot exit. So whenever it is just rising a system dot exit, then boom, because then only sorry, the function name is that func, right? Yes. Yeah, see, we are handling the PyTest, which is for testing of this particular function, whether it is throwing that runtime exception of system exit up, because it's a specific exception, specific. So let me do that. PyTest test ex2.py. So sorry, maybe that's okay, because we are testing whether it is throwing a runtime exception or not. Yes, it is returning. For example, I don't want this. I don't want to throw runtime exception. I want to return something else. Something else maybe return 0. But now what happens is this particular 9th line condition is false, because it is not throwing runtime exception. It is throwing some or returning some particular value which is 0. So let me run this one now. PyTest. Definitely. See, because it is failed, because that function you are expecting a runtime exception, but it is not getting a runtime exception. Such kind of situation. So that PyTest not only meant for assertion, it can use it for testing whether my function is throwing runtime exception or not. Because, for example, you have given a function, that function, it has to do a particular error, it has to throw error whenever a inconsistency is happened, like a database failure is happened, but it is not throwing. That means the implementation is wrong, right? So that way is the best example. I think you got the point, right? Right? It's not assert. It's going to be handling a runtime exception. Yeah, good. So this is yeah, one way of scenario. Now we want to come up with some other thing, right? Maybe additional kind of facilities which was given by that PyTest framework. Let's have that one. Now, maybe you have multiple functions. Maybe, yeah, let me have that. Yeah, that's okay. So let me have that test example 3. So now this particular thing, what I do is here, I'm trying to do that grouping of test modules or test functions. So what I do here is, our target is now grouping of test modules. So what you can say, test functions, right? So for this, we use classes. Particularly, object-oriented programming, using that we are trying to implement it, right? Now, I want to do that one with the class. So maybe the class name which I prefer to use it, class test some operations. I do my class like this. Yes, I can, because my class name is test. It should be prefixed as per the convention. See here, this is the criteria. Your particular class name should start with test keyword. That's capital. Rest of thing you can write anything. Now I'm writing one particular function. What operation you want to test it? I want to test some computation. Right? Compute. Yes, I can do that. Maybe it could be a typical one, which it contains that x is a parameter and operator also parameter, because which operation you want to compute. Maybe you try to compute addition or increment, you want to do that decrement -1. That two things you can consider. But this compute operation belongs to that inside a class, so that it's a method, because self is defining. This is not an independent function. It's a contained or encapsulated inside a class, right? Now let me check that particular operator, whether my operator is plus operation. Whenever you want to do a plus, return, yeah, that's okay. X, we are sending x +1, because we want to do that whenever operation is the plus. If that is subtraction, yes, I can. If operation is minus, then I want to decrement, return x -1. I want to consider only two computations. I don't want to consider other things, right? Now, to test this particular function is there. This function, I want to test it with the increment case. I want to test it, and a decrement case. I want to test it, whether it is doing proper incrementation and proper decrement. So, two test cases I supposed to test it. So the first test case is, maybe I'll do that test increment. This is also a method or encapsulated. It doesn't take any parameters. So what it will do is assert. This is a function inside of your class. So it's not a normal function. It's inside of your class, self dot compute. What I want to compute, I want to compute with x value 4, and the operation which I want to test it is plus. It should result 5. So that is testing module or assertion of that. Similarly, I want to test another module, another case. We can say that test case 1 is increment, test case 2 is decrement. So this is decrement, self we are sending. So here assert self.compute. So I'm sending 5, and I'm doing the minus operation, and intentionally I've given it's a 4. So because I want to make it fail, right? Yeah, that's okay. Now these two test modules are there. They are encapsulated or combined together or grouped together into the test operations of this. Maybe you have other classes also. Maybe other testing classes. Maybe you have multiple classes are there. Inside the same module, you might have multiple classes. Yes, of course you can have. Now, let me check that. PyTest. What is the module? Test example ex3.py. In this case, what happens? It will test that all of the classes, because right now one class is there, no problem. If you have another class, yeah, you can. Maybe all that is also tested. But right now only one is there. Of course, Oh, okay, it is intentional. I have to give it 6. That makes code, right? One of them I want to make it fail. Yes, I can. Yeah. See, look at here. One of them is failed. So that is because 5 decrement, it becomes 4, but you are trying to test with 5, so it's impossible. For example, I want to figure out, I want to or test, not figure out, it's a test. Maybe you have other testing classes are there. I want to call a specific class. Yes, I can. Maybe you have another class is there. Maybe you have a class test others, right? This could be another class. Maybe I don't want to write any code here, pass. So if I do here, see what happens, maybe, yeah, that's okay. See, look at here. Test example, 1 pass, 1 fail. Yeah, that's okay. Maybe I want to test it. Yes, yeah, that's okay. I can test a particular class, right? So yeah, that's fine. Maybe, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Maybe py with class name. Yes, correct. Yes, -k option, which I'm trying to test it. Only the specific one, test others. I don't want to test others, so I don't want to test that competition. This is, see, look at here. Interesting thing happens. Collected 2 items, deselected is because it does not contain any kind of testing code, no problem. Similar way, but I want to do that testing this particular class, specific class name, that is called test operations. Yes. This I can call a specific testing unit, that is called -k. So test operations. Now please look at here. So 1 failed and 1 passed because you have been selected one particular one. So other one anyway, you did not call it. When you did not call it, then no problem, because this is called a specific case. So -k, what it will tell you is this -k option, you can execute or test -k a specific testing unit. I think we hope you got this particular -k, right? This way you can do it. Grouping we do using classes, but inside the class, maybe inside that particular module, you have 15 functions are there. I want to call only third function to be tested. Yes, you can do that one. Yeah, this is one interesting option. And one more is, inside of this particular one, I want to invoke a particular function. Yeah, maybe you have multiple functions are there. Inside that, I want to call one. See, look at here. Maybe I can do that because test increment is there, test decrement is there. I want to test only increment. So what I do here, inside of this one, you have a sub function. Maybe I can say that this test increment. I think I can do that, right? This could be 1. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's okay. See, collected is 0 items. Why it is? I don't think it is okay. Maybe it is expecting that. So multiple functions. Okay, let me do that. Why you have to wait then? So let me have another example. Test, because it's inside the class, it's not happening. So I have that ex4.py. Let me copy the same code, Control A, Control C. I don't want that a class, just I want to put that these two increment and decrement as normal functions. So these will use it, these will use it, okay, these will use it, a normal function. Normal function means it does not require any self here. Okay, yeah, that's, yeah, and we don't need this, and we don't need this. And of course, wherever self is there, I can remove that. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, sorry. It's assert P5 is some functionalities and out of, yeah. So you look at here, there is test increment is there, test decrement is there. I want to invoke only the test increment. I want to test it. I think why it is something issue with the test example. Oh, sorry. It could be example number 4, right? Yes. Yes. Now it's perfect. Yeah. See, look at here. And one more here. If it is passed, no problem. It doesn't show any details. If it is failed only, you get the details. Please make sure. So decrement. Yes. So here, sometimes what I do is I try to run this particular testing of this module, verbose also. Verbose means full details, you will get it. See here. So what is passed, what is failed also. Earlier, without verbose, it doesn't show what is passed and what is failed. It shows that a dot, that's it, nothing else. But I want to read out that a complete description of the module, like this is passed and this is failed. So 50% is passed and 50% is failed. So total put together is, that's called -B. -B is full descriptions, you can get it. That is called -B, I think. Yeah, I think you got the point, right? Because calling a particular module, if you want to call a class, we use -K. If you want to call a function of tested to be tested, then we are using double colon symbol. So did you get it? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir, please explain parameter self, sir. Self.
Correct. So this is the example. See here, right? This example, it requires self because these functions are inside or encapsulated inside of this particular test operations. So this is called grouping of a collection of test units. So whenever it's object oriented, simply what you can say, it's object oriented. So object oriented means this particular method, it is a inside of your class. It's not an independent function. So definitely it's a self is required. It refers that current object. Current object means current class. So current class function you are calling, this is, for example, my compute function is a normal function outside the class. I don't need a self, just directly I can call. A normal function calling is different. This is called object oriented one, right? Self is nothing but, this particular function is not independent function. It is encapsulated unit inside a class. Is it clear? Okay. Yeah, self defines that, right? Yeah.
So can we modify the function, like if we remove underscore in any one of the functions, so will it show fail or pass status?
No. Tell me once again, please.
If we modify any of the functions like test underscore increment, if we remove underscore in one of the functions, so will it show pass or fail status?
No, it doesn't execute. The naming convention for the functions is definitely underscore must be required. See, I'm trying to execute this. Now this is not considered as a testing unit. It is a normal function. So just take that. Yes. See, I'm writing this. I don't need verbose also because definitely only one is selected. See, only one.
So sir, first one is correct, na? Other one is so 5 minus 1, 4 not equal to 6. So without underscore also this is working.
Which is working?
The first function in which
No, first function is not working. It is pretty sure because see, look at here. Wait.
Sir, but the other one is false, na?
Wait. So this is a test, no underscore was given, right? This is not considered as a testing function, right?
Can we use verbose here?
No,
to check which one is passed?
You can. When we wait. Yeah, it is working. Oh, it is actually.
No, sir, you were running example 4 file.
Oh, sorry. Correct. Yeah, it is okay. EX3, right? Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. So, say definitely only one. See, look at here, only one. So, and you can say that only one details, right?
Yes, sir. Increment 1 has passed, na? In which we have removed underscore.
Okay, maybe is it a normal inside
Actually,
the class?
this happened in last class as well. That this also works when we remove underscore.
Okay, inside the class. Can we do with that without the class?
Not inside the class, but in function when we define a function.
Let me do that one. This one I do that. Can we do that one? This one? This time what happens, we'll see. This is example number 4. Because it is a normal function, right? So when it is normal function also, it's working. Okay, great. I think it works, I think, because maybe underscore is not compulsory. Maybe let me do that instead of prefixing. Can I do suffixing? Can I do suffixing? Try to do here. I can do there. Here, instead of prefixing, can I do increment? Underscore test is okay, but let me do what.
No, sir. Without the underscore, it won't work.
Okay, maybe suffix. I'm trying with suffix, right? Now it is one
Yes.
failed.
In the suffix, it doesn't work, but
Okay,
in prefix, it works.
okay. That's fine. Yeah, got it. Maybe underscore is definitely required whenever it's a suffix set. Prefixing is not required for testing of functions. Okay. Yeah, that's new discovery. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it. So maybe let me correct it. Okay. Until this is clear, right? Now,
Yes, sir.
now we want to use some additional facilities of this PyTest framework. Maybe this would help you for doing some more additional functionalities of PyTest framework. Yeah, let me have this one. This is using Marcus. What I do here, first part we use it is a Marcus. See the Marcus. So the Marcus is, it's a defining metadata or description of functions, right? So I can say that it is define some metadata or description metadata to test functions. To the test functions, we want to give some particular metadata for it, even test functions or test classes. And later, whenever we are testing, we try to use them, that Marcus, we want to use them. But let us see first, actually, there are built-in markers out there. We see that some built-in markers, built-in. We have some built-in markers out there. I remember some of them. Maybe that would help you a lot because you can see the documentation. There is a marker called, of course, every marker is definitely prefixed with a decorator. The decorator is at the rate symbol, the PyTest. These are predefined, built-in one. Mark, this is also one particular submodule, mark. Skip, this is one. It always skips a particular test case. Maybe you write a test case, but actual functionality is not implemented. As a test engineer, you believe that this testing is required, but right now it is not implemented. So that I'll make it a skip. And one more built-in marker, which you can say that PyTest mark, if and only the particular condition is satisfied. What you can say is that skip if. Whenever a condition is satisfied, then only it will skip. If the condition is not satisfied, it will test it. Let me have a generic kind of example. You'll see that one. And we have another one which you call is that PyTest mark. We have a lot of things out there, but important things only I'm discussing. So parameterized. So this parameter is running multiple times using the different parameters. So same testing function, same test case, I want to run with a different sample set. What happens with first sample set, second sample set, third sample set? All these 3 sample sets I want to test it. So I can do that. So of course, these are some built-in one. And of course, similar way, you can define your user-defined also. But let's have one example of built-in. Then we'll jump to that user-defined markers also. I can write my own. Yes. Let me go for that. Example number 5. Yes. Maybe test EX50. See, I'm writing different kind of things. So what I do here is, as I said, first it is skip, normal skipping, right? So when I want to skip a particular test case, I don't want to test it, but because later I'll implement it. So what I do here is, maybe definitely the module to be imported, import PyTest. Sorry, yeah, okay. So here, first I'm doing it's PyTest mark skip. So why do you skip this? You can specify the reason. Maybe I can say that reason is not yet implemented. So whenever not yet implemented, why to test it? I don't want to test it. So, but I don't want to test it means I can return def right now test. Let's have an example. Maybe a database source you are trying to insert. Whenever you are trying to check that whether database insertion is successfully inserting or not. So not yet implemented DB functionality. But later I want to test it. So what I do here, test DB insert. But right now, this one I want to skip it. So assert false. Because right now this is skipped because not implemented this functionality. That's the reason it is skipped. And similar way, I want to skip a particular test case if and only condition is satisfied. Actually, maybe you have one particular test case which should be skipped on Windows operating system. It should be run it on Mac OS, but it should be skipped on Windows operating system. Yes, I can because this functionality works on only Linux, so that I'll run it on Linux or Mac. But I want to skip it on Windows. Okay, but how would I know that my platform? Maybe I can have, just let me Google it. There is Python model how to know platform in Python. I must know that one. Which particular platform, right? Yes, there is one particular one which it can return this import platform and then this particular platform system. I can do that one. Yes, I can do that one. I can import simply platform. Yes, I can. So what I do here, I can yeah, that's okay. I go to my Python one where I can do that import platform. Yes, import platform. Okay, now platform dot system. What it is returning? Definitely it will return. Oh, it is returning a lot of things. Huh? Okay, but I know that platform dot system. Yes, I got it. Okay. Oh, yeah, we have another one choice of Infosys, right? Import sys. That's better choice, right? Import sys. Sys module also working. So sys dot system. Yeah, sys dot platform. Sorry, right? Platform. Yeah, it's a Darwin because my particular system is Mac OS. Okay. Okay. Now got it. Yes. Now what I do here is if it is Windows, I want to skip it. So at the rate PyTest mark skip if my particular reason will specify that later sys dot platform is Windows. It doesn't work on Windows. Let me have that Windows 64-bit. It is not running. So I'm importing import sys because that module has to be required. Okay. Yes. If it is that Windows operating system you are trying to test, so it doesn't work. So that what I do here, reason is it does not run on Windows. So this one, other one, it will do the test. Maybe a folder, I can do that. That is return true or assert true. Assert true. Okay, maybe this module, if I test it on this one on Windows, it doesn't test it. And parameterized. For example, I want to do that same test case has to be tested for different kind of samples, right? So what I do here, same FI test, mark parameterize. Okay, so in this, I try to send 3 parameters. So something like A, B, and product of 2 numbers, right? So what I do, A, B, and product, POD product of 2 numbers, right? So here, these 3 parameters, I want to send it as a tuples. Maybe 3 tuples I want to test it. Each tuple is having three values, A, B, and product of this. So I can send a list of 3 things. Yes, I can. Maybe 5 and 2 result could be 10. Yes, I can test it. And second one I want to test it. 7, 3, and 21. Yes, I can. Third one I want to give a failure test case. That is 9, 5, and 40. Yeah, it's okay. This what happens, whatever the test case you're writing, this will be tested on 3 times with first tuple value, second tuple value, and third tuple value. So what I want to test it, that test product of these numbers, it definitely takes that A, B, and product of these 3 numbers. Okay. Now asserting of it, assert A multiply B should be equal to the product. Yes. Yeah, it is somewhat a typical kind of implementation, but it involves that a lot of things. One, you are just reasonably you are skipping all the time because it is not implemented. Second one, we are trying to do that skip if and only on Windows. If it is on Mac, it will run. Third one, we want to run the same test case with 3 different sample sets, right? So let me do that PyTest test example 5.py. Okay, so because that's okay, because this is one kind of warning. Actually, I can say that one. This could be one kind of warning, I think so. What is that? It is collecting EX import module. Okay, maybe this was not there. Maybe it was there. So let me check it, right?
Import, sir, we need to import.
Pip install sys. I think sys is the built-in one, right? No matching, right?
One more thing, it is underlining, sir. One more thing in the code.
What is that?
In above code, it is underlining platform.
Platform. Okay. Okay. It's a underscore is there. No. I don't think it is required.
Do we need to import this?
I don't need, because I think it is a predefined module, right? Example line number 8. This is the issue. The platform you're checking. Sister platform. Yeah, that's okay. Platform. Import sys. We use it. Skip if. That's okay. Maybe pip install sys. Okay, how to install? Maybe I'll check it. How to install sys module on Python. Maybe it is stopping me. Maybe I'm sure. Import sys is predefined. Okay, so that's what we have done. Import sys and sys.platform. If and only this condition. Is it sys.platform? Let me check that. Maybe I have mistaken of that. Okay. Import sys. Yeah, what happens that it is okay. The platform is maybe OS we'll try OS.POSIX.
It is importing platform.
Wait. It's importing. Maybe Python. Import says sys.platform. Yes, I can get it. Darwin all these are. Is it okay? The skip if. Oh, sorry. This should be a condition. It is assigning you are trying to do that. It should be a condition. See, look at here. Because if and only this particular condition is satisfied, then only this is skipped. Otherwise, this is okay. Yeah, got it. Because we are trying to check it. Skip if and only this condition. The reason is this. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes. So this testing example 5. So look at here. It is, I think, some warning we are getting. That's not a big problem. No prod. Okay. Function has no prod. Okay. This is a different argument I'm using. Prod. Okay. Similar parameters. Yes, correct. I think now it works. Yes. See, look at here. They are totally 1 failed, 3 passed, and 1 skipped. So 1 skipped means definitely this, because right now we are trying to test with Windows 64. Maybe if I do that, Darwin, definitely this is going to be, yeah, it is 2 skipped, because this is also why it is 2 passed. Or 2 passed means these two. Or this is okay, 2 passed, and 1 failed is definitely this case, because 9, 5, and 40. This is 1 failed, and 2 skipped means this is not implemented. So that's what it is skipped. Why it is 2 skipped? So 1 failed, 1 passed. It's only skipping of. Okay, maybe I'll check with the verbose, right? That makes good, right? Now you see that. Yes, correct. So here, not yet implemented is definitely skipped. And folder, it does not run in Windows. So skip if the platform. Oh, okay, okay. So right now the platform is Darwin, it is skipped. So if it is Darwin, it is skipped. If it is Windows, then only skip it, right? Correct. Then it should not skip it. Sorry, I've used that earlier thing, makes sense, right? Verbose. This is okay. Correct. So now 1 is skipped. So testing folder is passed because it is skipping only on Windows, but it works on Darwin. And out of these particular test prod, it is trying with the 3 sample sets. First tuple, second tuple is passed. Whenever it's trying with third tuple, it is failed. Yeah, I think this is okay for you, right? Writing of or using a lot of fixes are there. You can explore more fixes, but right now this course is not about testing. Only fundamentally, if you have an overview of markers, that's more enough. And you can write your user-defined markers also. Yes, you can. These are predefined. What I do here is, I want to give some metadata to a list of test cases, and I want to run them. Whatever metadata I specify, that test case only I want to test it. That is called user-defined. So let me have another example. Test ex6.py. So what I do here is the same thing I'm copying. Let me do with user-defined markers. These are not predefined. I do that user-defined. Let me have this user-defined. So user-defined, I can write my own test cases. I don't want to write a great test cases here. So I do that first test cases. Maybe a list of test cases are there which you are using for integration testing. This is integration. So a list of test cases you are using, which might be a slow testing. Maybe I'll have that slow testing. So I will copy these. Maybe this could be one regression testing. Yes, I can. Regression. And yeah, this is, I do that, a test case, just naming of unique name, case 1, case 2, and case 3. So of course these, yeah, it's okay. Control C. So I do this one also slow testing, or you can say that smoke testing. So you can see that there are okay, slow testing. Okay, slow testing. Okay, see, this particular second test case and fourth test case, I made a slow. One is regression, one is integration. So these are user-defined markers. This is called user-defined metadata. I want to run only one specific marker. I don't want others, right? So what I do here, by default, if I run PyTest with test example EH6, it will try to test all the test cases. So maybe I can do that verbose. That would help you. Correct. So here, all the particular test cases, it tries to test it. So maybe you can check it. Yes, correct. See, all the four. Of course, one is failed. That's okay. No problem. Now, what I do here is, I want to test only the slow test cases, whatever marked as slow. So I do that along with this particular test 6py, that's called test example py. I want to do that only testing of slow test cases. So two of them pass, two of them is not selected, and you are interested to see that verbose also, you can see this one. Okay, so look at here, these two, that is test case 2 and 4, both belongs to slow. I don't want to run the test case slow. I want to run others, right? I do that not slow. So if I do a not slow, other than slow, it will try to do it. So but testing of that regression, it will do. Testing of that integration, it will do. Yes, I can. This is one more. Yes. So see, look at here. This is one is passed and one is failed. That's okay. 2. So test case 1 and test case 3 tried, but 2 and 4 is not tested. This way you can write your customized or user-defined markers. I think you got it, right? Right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So this is called user-defined markers you can specify. If you write the marker, so it would help you easily to run only these test cases. A unique name or metadata you can define. Not the unique name, you can say metadata. So group of that test cases you can put together as regression things, slow test cases, smoke test cases, sanity test cases. All these are right. Yeah, so I think that's okay. This is called markers. And along with this markers, there is another interesting part of this particular PyTest framework is fixers. So let me quick overview of the fixer. Basically, what really the fixer is. Yeah. So basically, fixer itself is sending functions as a parameter, what you can call as. But in simple words, fixers are it's a function. Fixer is a function. It's a function. Okay, it will provide the function that provides a resource to test case or test function. What you can say that one function you are sending as a parameter to another function, that's called fixer. So what you can say that, you know, a pre-configured resources you want to set it. A pre-configured resources. See, for example, best scenario. I'm talking about the best scenario. What I do here is a best scenario. One particular example scenarios. But you can say that example scenario for resource. If you want to test a database, first it should be open. Then only you can do that. So open database is a fixer. Open database is a fixer. Open database is a job of other function. It will do that. That function, I want to use it as a fixer for the current test case. If I want to run my test case, first it should open the particular database. So that if database is opened, it will provide the database, then you can do that. So then you can test a query. Maybe you are testing a query. Yes. If you want to test a query, first basically a fixer is required. The fixer is definitely database will be open. So this way, you can say that, you know, a fixer best example. Maybe you can talk about, yeah, there might be, you know, so one particular example, if you talk about a fixer, let me have, yeah, there is user defined, not user defined, we can write that fixer. Yeah, that's great. The fixer itself is, it's also a predefined decorator. We use it, that decorator is called pytest.fixer. This has to be decorator to your test case, whatever you are defining. Yeah, that's fine. Now let me have another example which you can talk about the fixer. This is test ex 7.py. So let me close this. I'm writing the fixer. Definitely this module pytest must be imported because fixers are pytest prefixed. So what I do here is I'm trying to have a fixer which is a resource I'm providing to my test cases. At the rate pytest fixer, this fixer is one particular function. It will provide like open database, it will provide some set of different variants of numbers. I'm not writing any kind of complex kind of database operation here. So what I do here is return a dictionary. Yes, I can do that. I want to return one dictionary of one even number of 2 and one odd number of some 5. Okay, and 1 0 which you cannot consider that either even or odd. Yeah, so this is also considered. Okay, this is what you can say that, you know, one particular fixer which is a resource. This resource is used by your testing module. So my testing module is I want to use this testing module, testing of odd numbers. All these are whether it is odd number or not. So let me have def test odd. Maybe I can do that odd of 1. Yes, it takes that numbers as a parameter. Remember, this particular numbers is a predefined fixer. This will provide a resource to here. So whatever resource it is returned, this dictionary is returned to this particular test odd 1. In this, I can test whether my particular one, whether it is odd number or not. For this assert, let me do that numbers of, because it is providing the numbers, whether my particular even number sample I want to test it, whether it is divisible by 2, not equal to 0. This is one particular I'm using. Similar, another testing module I'm writing. Here I'm writing another testing module as pure odd I am checking, and another testing module I'm checking, maybe query 1, query 2, query 3. So this one I'm testing with 0, whether it is working with zeros or not. See here, this only one function, it will be executed. That output is used for even, odd, and 0. So I need not run this function every time. So if this facility is not there, what should I do is, I should call the function numbers here. Whatever returned value is there, that value has to be used. Is it right? Is it right? Every testing module, it has to call open database function. Then that database, on that we need to test. So instead of it using a fixer, that particular fixer you can send as a parameter to the particular test case. So automatically whatever executed function, the same output is used for different test cases. I think you got the point, right? Is it clear? Hello? Hello?
Yes, yes.
So
Yes, sir.
fine. So now this same output returned once and executed once and use 3 different things. Of course, this pretty much, I think one of the test case is going to be failed. Yeah, I think 2 of them. This is test example 7.py. Where it goes? Let us check that. Yeah, because 2 divided by 2, it is equal to 0. It is returning. So similar way, 0 mod 2 you are doing, it is also returning not equal to 0. So I think 2 test cases are failed because odd only we are checking, right? Yes, this is my warehouse, right? Yes. So 2 of them are failed. Only 1 is passed. That is, we are passing with 5. So it is going to be passed. Yeah. So these are a quick overview of this PyTest framework. But how can you use this on your Flask application? I think you are well familiar with building of your Flask app. You defined one practical project and you are well implemented of your Flask, or somebody is implemented. They ask you to write testing units. So that things, right? A complete project is given to you, to the test engineer. Assume that you are the test engineer. They ask you to write that testing units for the Flask application. So that complete implementation we want to do at once now. This could be a final topic of today. I think you got the point. We want to build a Flask app and I want to test with PyTest. Is it clear? Is it okay?
Yes, understood.
Yeah, fine. So you look at here. As you know that Flask app means we generally write the dap.py. First, let us
just one doubt.
Tell me.
The fixture thing that you saw, that you told, can a function have more than one fixture?
Yes. Maybe you can send 2 parameters here. I can do that. First, because it is expecting resource from 2 particular functions, right? So numbers 1, numbers 2. Okay. Yeah. That's
and whether the order matters, let's say there
no,
is
no,
a function.
No order. It's like a parameter.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Fine. Okay. So yeah. Now what I do here is now, before directly going for implementation, maybe I lose a thread. So we build some app. Maybe it's a Flask app. We want to test with one PyTest. Maybe endpoints is properly working or not. That's what we want to do. So this app.py generally we are implementing, which it includes a Flask from Flask, import Flask. Basically, it requires only that, and later maybe another modules required, we'll import. So here we want to create the instance of the Flask. It's taking the current name of the application, the instance of it. Now I want to use some dictionary. Maybe I'm not using any database here. Maybe a simple dictionary, employee details, which it includes that, or student details. So it includes that ID, maybe 101, name of the employee, so which could be string type data raw, and then is salary. Yes, I can. Generally, I take this particular one is a temporary data. Yeah, this is a first record. Maybe you have another record also, which is a temporary data 102, and this Rahim, and this one is a random value. Okay, so now the thing is, I want to create a routes for this, because my application, it requires that Flask application. It has to respond for the web app.route. So first route I'm defining is that get employees. So by default, you get it all the employee data, so that def get return emp det. Okay. So maybe the dictionary entire one is considered as a JSON data. The JSON data is written. This is the first route. Yeah, that's okay. Maybe later I'll add one more route. First, let me check it whether it is Flask is properly working or not. I'm running my application. If my name of my particular one is a main, yeah, it's underscore name, sorry, main, okay, main function. Then I run my app.run, default is debug, okay, true. Anyway, put it or not, that's okay. So here my Flask app is running. Actually, maybe I'll do here, yes, correct, yes. Here my Flask app is running, Python, my simple Flask one app.py. So this my app, it's running with get employees. I'm putting that route is get employees, yes. So here you can get the data, that because already it is a simple one, and endpoint, once you hit the endpoint, you get that 200 status code. Simply we got it. Similarly, I want to write one more route, just to get employees. I want to add the employees also. Maybe I want to add it. So for the adding, I want to make it the particular route is add employee. One employee I want to add it. Maybe I can do the function name is add. So this one is simple. What it will do is it will, whatever JSON data you send it, that JSON data I want to add it. So for that, the arguments which you are giving is whatever received arguments of JSON, request.json, maybe request has to be imported from the Flask request. Yes. So whatever the sending arguments, of course, sorry, here the methods also required. Default method of sending is the get. I want the get and as well as post also. Just for both, right? Default is get. So whatever JSON data we got into ARGS, I want to append it into my particular dictionary. My dictionary is already there. So what I do here is, yeah, that's I want to append it, right? emp dat dot append. So whatever arguments you passed it, my arguments are, first argument is passed JSON data, that is ID, and because it's a kind of dictionary, okay? So okay, so ID equal to, correct, ID equal to this, right? Because I need to append the dictionary. Yes, correct. So this ID equal to arguments ID, and the second argument is name equal to, sorry, name colon, I'm sorry, because it's a dictionary, key and value pair. Okay, that's fine. So in this, name is whatever ARGS name you passed it, JSON data, and then third one, salary, which I'm sending ARGS as salary. Yeah, this is a complete record which you received JSON data is going to be appended. I think you got the point of these two lines, because these two lines are basically you're trying to do the append operation. Is it clear? Is it clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Now, once it is appended, maybe successfully it is appended, I want to return some kind of message to the web. Return, what I say is employee data is added successfully, right? This could be a successful message I'm giving, and along with it, I want to give some status code of 201, because 201 is a creation status code. Yeah, so let me run this one, because this part is working properly or not. Yeah, now, yeah, this is okay, because it is running. Yeah, because it's a JSON data you are sending. Once you want to send the JSON data, I'm supposed to send it through some either Postman or Sensomania or Thunder client. Okay, so let me do with the Thunder client, which is already available. I want to do a make request. Okay, which I can do that testing of this endpoint. Already we have defined the endpoint is I think add employee with particular JSON data. Okay, so I do that. So 127. Okay, add employee, it's there. Great. But this type of request is a post request, not get. And what request you are sending is some JSON data. So I'm sending the JSON data. This is ID 103 and the name David. Sorry, maybe it could be double quotes because JSON data is somewhat particular about it. And the salary, something like 6. Okay, so these data I want to send it. Maybe this would be like this, right? Yes, correct. I think, okay, we don't need comma. Yeah. So now this data, I want to send it to endpoint. Endpoint is running because it is already running. So let me check that one using this new request. Okay, post endpoint is this. Okay, yes, successfully it is added. If it is successfully added or not, you can refresh this one. It is added. So these two endpoints, I want to test it using PyTest. I think you got the point, right? These two things properly working or not, I want to write it. Like a Flask application is having n number of routes are there. I want to test each route properly it's working or not. So that's our objective. Maybe API endpoint you are testing, or it might be a Flask endpoint it is testing. Yeah, that's fine. Now let me do that. There is another module I'm writing, the testing module. Test example, maybe 8. Yes. Here, see, I'm testing my particular one. So first one, I'm testing the def get, test get endpoint. I want to test it. So yeah, so once I want to test it, there is request or requests are there. I think definitely request. Yeah, maybe request only. Yeah. I think there is a predefined wait. Yeah, there is a Python request. Python request small. Yeah, Python requests only. Correct. Requests, not requests, right? Okay. So endpoints you want to test it. For that, we need to import requests. Import requests. Okay. So this request is expecting some URL. Which URL you want to test it? So that's the thing. I'm getting some result equal to or response equal to whatever executed response. So request dot get. What do you want to test it? So the URL I need to specify. I remember my URL is this for testing of endpoint of this. Okay, Control C. Same endpoint and pasting. Request, sorry. Okay, it's a yes is there. So it will return the complete information about the response. In that response, I want to check the status code only. The status code is 200, it is success. So I will assert my response dot status code, all these are there. If the status code is 200, then my particular request job is done successfully. Okay. Similar way, I want to test my post also. Because I have to send a new record as a parameter, right? New record as a parameter, or you can say JSON data. Test adding of data or posting of data, right? New record we are adding. So for this, the JSON data is required, which has to be sent it as a payload, because we send the JSON data as a particular JSON data. Yeah, that's okay. Let me check my other client what it is expecting. Various things. It is expecting. Wait. Yeah, it is expecting URL. It is expecting, and it is expecting that content is content. Is content is here? Yes. Content. I don't know. Content is, what is the content of JSON? I think it could be application or content. Okay. Content type. Okay. And then URL. These things has to be sent it. Okay. JSON is data. Let me have it. Yeah, that's okay. Maybe you'll have the different kind of local variables. I'll try to make the local variable endpoint. So endpoint, I'll specify the URL. Let us have the URL is from here itself. This is the URL, right? Okay. This URL, I want to hit it. Then, what is the payload of data you want to send it, or data you want to send it, right? So the data is which you want to put it, the data. So I'm trying to put that ID is some 104, name, 2, and this is somewhat. Okay. So this, okay, salary. This is a JSON data, which I can say the JSON data. This data I want to send it as a payload, and what type of content you are sending. So header, which you are sending header data, metadata. Header is that it is a kind of dictionary which contains 2 fields. The content type is there, content type. Okay, content type, which is application JSON. The JSON data you are sending as a parameter. Yes, I think these 3 parameters are enough. One is endpoint. Second one is which data you are sending. Third one is that. Second one is the data object which you are sending as a payload. And third one is what type of content you are sending. Okay, that's okay. Now, similar lines, whatever response you are seeking, same response you are getting. So response equal to, we are trying to not sending get, we are trying to post the data. So request dot post. But this post is expecting different things, right? The first one is which particular URL you are trying to hit it. URL equal to endpoint, the first parameter. And the JSON data you are sending, that is called data. And headers you are sending, header data. Yes, it's header. Okay. So these things we are sending, and immediately you get a response. I think we have written a response code for APIs for adding record is 201. This 201 status, you need to assert it. Assert response dot status code 201. Okay. Yeah. This is pretty much, because to test one particular app, we have 2 routes are there. One route is get operation and one route is put operation. So let me do that one. Another terminal is here, because one terminal we are running a Flask app. Other terminal I can test it. I can quit this here. PyTest. My testing module is test ex8. Oh, both of them is successfully done. So once successfully done, you supposed to get that updated data with 4 records, right? Oh, this is because already Flask is down and then do that. Okay. So let me do that. Maybe another record 105. David. Okay, I'm doing that. Okay, I'm running this one. Now this is okay. Why this one? I think okay. My PyTest is okay. Testing module to the existing one, it is appended. Data is successfully added, but we are trying to get it. Okay. It's okay. Maybe both of them properly working. I don't think nothing wrong here. My Flask app is running, hitting endpoint also we are getting 201 and 200. Yeah, that's okay. Maybe I think that PyTest things which are not added properly, sorry, permanent into the dictionary, only for testing, whether testing is properly done it out. Yeah, that's okay. I think you got this endpoint testing. Is it clear? Is it clear? If any Python Flask app is there, how to write a testing module is this way. All of your app routes. Yeah, I think it is pretty much, because other than that, week 10 mostly concentrates on that testing. I think you don't expect that more complex questions on PyTest. Mostly they'll ask you on testing unit names only. Anything you want to ask, right? Is it clear? Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, I think if you don't have anything, we can close session. Can we close it?
Sir, why that was disappearing?
What disappearing?
The records you were adding, they were disappearing, right?
Not disappearing. Only tested one is appearing, right? This recent tested one only it is appeared, right? 105 is added means 105 on, right? Clear? Because the PyTest, what it is doing is the initial data plus new data. That's it.
Okay.
It is not doing, additional updated data. It is not using. Clear? Clear?
But sir, let's say you were adding 103 using the Thunder client, right?
Thunder client, yes. That is not testing. It is directly interacting with the application endpoint.
Yeah.
That's it.
But,
Because that maybe I think that every time when you run this one, new instance of Flask app might be created.
Okay. That
Once
makes sense.
new particular instance is created, immediately this entire dictionary is initialized, right? That's the reason. Okay. Yeah.
But just one follow-up. Because in test 8, you are not interacting with the Flask app, you are just using request, right?
Correct.
So how does PyTest know to reinstantiate the Flask app?
Maybe the request module is doing the job. The request module, when it is interacting with the Flask app or endpoint, it tries to check it from the beginning app.py itself.
Okay.
Maybe the request module, right? Yeah. So let me do that, Google, whether by requests module, is it reinitiating the entire Flask app? Requests module in Python, is it initializing the app? Just let me check it. Slightly incorrect it is getting it. Maybe used to make the request when it's a problem for experience, a common issue misunderstanding. Requests, okay.
What I feel is request is just an alternative to curl.
Correct. Maybe it is doing, the response it is getting is it's a different library solution. Just a minute. App.py file. Just let me check it. It does not inherently initialize. Maybe it does not, but definitely it may be, that's that. Yeah. Okay, I think it is pretty much then. You close session there. Any clarifications further? Yeah. So thank you. Okay. Can we close it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.